business meeting. Can we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Just a few announcements before we get into our ceremony tonight. Tonight's a special night. We're recognizing a lot of students. We're recognizing a tenure candidate, and it's a sad night in regards to saying goodbye to 5 great employees and staff members. So it's a bittersweet night. We're so thankful for all the service they provided to this community, this district, and our students. So we're glad that they can be here tonight so they can be thanked personally. And I know they came personally for a picture with Dr. Harney and Mr. Haas. So I know that's why they personally came here tonight. So thank you guys so much. As always, there are always 2 opportunities for the community to participate during the Board of Ed meeting. The first is just before the board takes up its agenda, and the second follows the disposition of all agenda items. If you'd like to speak, we ask that you come to the podium in the back. You please state your name. You state if you're from Bayport or Blue Point. If you are not a community member, you must be voted in by a majority vote of the board in order to participate in community input. As always, our Board of Education meetings are live streamed and posted thereafter to the district website. And as always, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow the district at BBP Schools. And if you'd like to follow Dr. Harney, you can follow Dr. Harney at BBP Soup. Before we get into Dr. Harney's report, we want to turn it over to Dr. Harney because, like I said, we do have a great night of recognition for all the great work our students have done over the years. So we're so thankful for everything you've done to improve and enhance the Bayport Blue Point School District. So without further ado, Dr. Harney, how are you tonight, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Very well. First of all, I'd like to welcome everyone here tonight. We have a lot of recognition, so first of all, I'd like to congratulate all of our students, our staff. We're doing retirees, we're doing people who are receiving tenure, other special awards as well, and then some of the great things that our students have been doing. So congratulations to everybody, and again, thank you so much for coming tonight. I'm going to turn it over first to Dr. Fulton, who's going to start with some of our student recognitions. We're going to do some of them first, and then we're going to move to some of the staff. So with that, I'll turn it over to Dr. Fulton.
Is each year for the district calendar. Every year, you actually take a look at the old-fashioned paper calendar, the ones that our parents used to hang up on the wall in the fridge and X the days off. We're proud to have our students' artwork selected, and it's amazing the talent and what our kids are able to create. So this is just one way for us to be able to celebrate their achievements. So when I call you up, please come on up, and we're going to take a nice group picture. Ryan Afanita. Scarlett Flood Baldessari. Christopher Gorwitz. Jillian Kaler. I know the next student's not here, presently at a golf match, but Emmett McCarthy. And that's his proud dad / legal counsel. Salvatore McAlizzi. Cindy Pohera. Janie Ricci. Jack Spanos. Aubrey Vedder. And Sabrina Yook. Let's move over here, and I'll take a look. Next, I'd like to call up Mr. Bobby Haas, high school principal.
Thank you, Dr. Colton. There's two students I want to recognize this evening, two graduating seniors. And really, it's a culmination of the work that they've done over the past, since middle school. The first student couldn't be here tonight, but I do want to recognize her, and that's Okaya Makeley. I actually presented her with the certificate earlier today. Just real quick, Okaya has, on her own, started fundraising for breast cancer awareness back when she was in middle school. I remember her first time coming into my office asking me, can we do this? And we did anything we could to help her out, but it was really her that did everything. And she has raised, I believe, over $40,000 since the beginning for breast cancer research. So congratulations to Okaya. The next student that I do want to recognize is Kieran Chubb. Come on up, Kieran. Like Okaya, back in middle school, Kieran played an integral role in the St. Baldrick's Foundation, raising money for childhood cancer research. Kieran, as a 6th, 7th grader, became deeply involved in it and really took it on for himself and running it. I know that he had help with it, and I think he ordered a lot of people around through high school during the events. But one of the things that really stood out was during COVID, when everything was closed down, when it was very easy to say, we're not going to do something like that. He organized on his own virtual events, still raising thousands of dollars each year for childhood cancer research. And he did it every year as part of Williams Warriors in memory of William Schultz, who was a Blue Point Elementary School student who had passed away from cancer. So congratulations, and really more thank you to Kieran.
And next, I'd like to bring up Ms. Kerry Van, the Academy Principal, but also representing the Long Island Language Arts Council.
We're here tonight to congratulate one of our students, our 4th grade student, who was a winner in the Long Island Language Arts Council's Creative Writing Contest. This is a contest open to all students on Long Island in grades 4, 7, and 10. And we are very proud to know that we have a 4th grade 2nd place winner. The students in this competition have to write. They get a timed prompt. They don't know about the prompt until the teacher tells them. This year it was, it's about, oh, now I have to remember the prompt. Hold on. How did I forget my prompt? Thank you. A smile is the same in every language. And then in addition to that, they have to submit a writing that they've done in their own classroom. And this is judged anonymously by, again, teachers and part of the Long Island Language Arts Council from Long Island. We have multiple districts that participate, so we are very, very proud to know that this year we had our own winner in 4th grade in 2nd place, Nate Swan. Congratulations, Nate. And Nate is actually, can I invite up his teacher who happens to be here? Mrs. Thompson, come on up. Nate and Mrs. Thompson were able to come to our awards ceremony. They were at our awards ceremony together too, so congratulations to both of you.
And now I humbly turn the back over to Dr. Harney.
Thank you. I would like to bring up Jane Einhardt if she's here. Where is she? There she is. So Jane is a 3rd grade student over at Sylvan in Miss Lee Manuel's class, and we had started a contest. So we started an SEL task force years ago. We've done a number of events. So this year we were trying to do a fun run, if you remember, for June 4th. And we had put out a contest for any of our students who wanted to do the logo for the t-shirt. Jane, actually a number of students put forward an entry. and Jane's was outstanding. And I'm going to show it to you here. We don't have it on a shirt yet because unfortunately we had to move the event. The event is now going to be in October of next year due to when we realized it was an SATD and with just too many conflicts. So Jane put together a shirt here, which is amazing to me because I can't even do stick figures, and I know I can't see it, but that is what she put together for us. All right, and we'll change the date on that, but this will be on our shirt, and I think our tentative date now is October 22nd. And it's very ingenious, as it basically talks BBP is tied together with laces of shoes, and there's a heart at the top of it. So it's wonderful. So we have a certificate for her, so I'd like to congratulate you, Jane, on that. We have that. We have one more thing for Jane as well. So unfortunately, fortunately, we're going to do PTA reflections, which is something we do every year. It's going to be on the 28th. But Jane couldn't be with us here tonight, so I did want to acknowledge her. So Jane was being awarded a certificate for PTA reflections. I Can Change the World by honorable mention in visual arts. So this is for Jane as well. So congratulations. Congratulations. With that, I think I'm going to, Dr. Fulton, am I coming back to you or Mr. House?
It brings me great pleasure to bring up the next students and their teacher. It's a group of students that have done an absolute tremendous job. They are our capstone research students. What capstone research class is actually, it's the second class in a 2-year program where students actually learn college-level research skills. And they start from the seminar, learning and increasing their toolbox, and by the time they get to capstone research, they're doing their own individualized research, which they then need to present. It really is truly a tremendous class. They are led by a fantastic teacher that I cannot say enough about, as, yes, Ms. Peterson. And to go into her class, and it'd be one of those things, if you're having a crazy day or a rough day, and you go in, and you see a group of students pushing themselves, getting into things that before they had started this journey that they probably hadn't even conceived that they'd be looking into studying, and really just working together. It's really just a joy to behold. So without further ado, I'd like to call Ms. Peterson and our capstone research students. Some students will be presenting, and some students are here for emotional support.
So I'll just very briefly introduce, this is part of our AP research class for this year. And each of the students here is going to share very briefly about their projects. And to kick us off is Nico.
Hi. So my project had to do with space tourism. I conducted a survey to find the maximum price that adults in BBP would pay to go see space and the factors behind it. A bunch of you adults in this room probably answered the survey, so thank you. And I found that the factors that mainly affected people's maximum price were their age, gender, number of children, and their annual household income, as well as a lot of people thought that it probably wasn't safe. And also people had things like claustrophobia, so they weren't willing to pay as much. And overall, I found that people, on average, were willing to pay about $10,000 in BBP to go on a space tour. And right now, it costs about $250,000. So we need to bring that down a little bit.
Hi, I'm Ryan Matamore, and since I had taken AP classes during the hybrid learning school year here at BBP, I decided to research how the hybrid learning program implemented for the 2020-2021 school year had an impact on AP classes here at the high school. So I studied AP Biology, European History, and World History, and I used survey research and a case study with interviews to determine how scores and performance were impacted by the hybrid learning program. After completing my survey and running statistical and thematic analysis, I found that there was no significant negative impact to scores and performance as a result of the hybrid learning program. However, the hybrid learning program definitely had a significant impact on students' mental health and well-being during the time, but there was no significant negative impact on AP performance during the hybrid year, so should it ever need to be implemented in the future, it is a viable solution to maintain our AP program here at BBP.
When thinking up my project, I wanted to tackle the idea that the future is becoming increasingly run by algorithms, and I wanted to tackle the ideas associated with that, but I also wanted to connect that with my fellow peers. So I landed on the eventual topic of to what extent does recommendation algorithm-based content consumption on TikTok have the ability to influence high school students' knowledge and opinions on entertainment. The conclusion of this specific survey found that the advertising of certain shows on TikTok was more influential rather than people's opinions on that specific show.
Hi, my name is Kate McKillop, and my favorite part of AP research was being able to explore whatever I wanted to explore. So I have a younger sister who has a rare disease called erythropoietic protoporphyria, where she's not allowed to go outdoors in sunlight at all. So I wanted to see how her mental health and how other kids' mental health was affected. So I did a phenomenological research study where I interviewed various kids living with this disease across the country, and I got to interview them and see how they felt about this disease. And what I found is that there's an increased risk of mental illness for kids living with this disease. And now this makes a huge impact for all these kids, so hopefully in the future, these kids' mental health can be addressed and they can be, their lives can just be improved overall.
Hi, I'm Casey Hessian, and I performed research on how the gender of a celebrity affects the way that high school students perceive their mental disorder. I performed my research using a mixed method, qualitative and quantitative survey that went out to high school students across Long Island and also across the country. What I found through my quantitative data that was collected was that males experience more stigma in the mental health aspect, meaning that they have more judgments attached to their mental illnesses. And what my qualitative research data found was that when celebrities are introduced into the mix, that those judgments become increased and there's a lot more harshness and stigma attached to their mental illness compared to just average everyday people.
Hi, my name is Logan Cerrone. So in the beginning of the research program this year, in September of 2021, I found that there was a viral situation happening on the US border where Border Patrol agents were detaining Haitian asylums using a public health code called Title 42 and to stop the spread of COVID-19. And this issue went extremely viral on Twitter, and I wanted to determine and with the lack of context and awareness of the issue, and I wanted to determine how are users' rhetoric or persuasive language and patterns in their language reflect their misinformation on the issue. And what I found was that misinformation was not as common, but Twitter users, specifically those that were anti-Title 42, were persuading others using their emotion and accurate and inaccurate opinions. And therefore, I found that my study suggests that implications that Twitter users are more impulsively inclined to express their opinion emotionally, and that Twitter users must find more credible news sources, as Twitter is a social media app geared towards social discussion rather than fact. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ben Fries, and I did my AP research project on the 2021 Equality Act. So I researched how the members of Bayport Blue Point felt about the 2021 Equality Act and what demographics affected that. So I did a survey that I sent out to the community members. And I basically looked at the different demographics and how they felt about the Equality Act. The Equality Act is an act that prohibits discrimination based on sexual orientation or identity. And my data was inconclusive. I wasn't able, due to a lack of variation in participants, but I was able to find that there was a big lack in understanding of the Equality Act. So in conclusion, I found that increasing knowledge about the Equality Act would increase support for it.
Hi, I'm Emily Cortesi, and for my AP research project, I administered a projective test in psychology called the Benver-Gestalt Visual Motor Integration Test. And I administered it to 119 third grade students at an elementary school in Brentwood, New York. And this projective test is able to tap into the unconscious mind of students, and they're able to understand relationships with anyone, but the two that I decided to focus on were the relationship with your parents. So I administered, you can see the two designs. They're both, design A is linked to the mother-child relationship, and design 7 is linked to the father-child relationship. And I administered those two designs along with a 5-question survey asking children about their relationship with their parents. And after running a statistical analysis, I unfortunately found out that there was no significant correlation between the two, so it was kind of inconclusive. But due to the significant number of errors on all of the students' designs, there can be a link to some sort of emotional conflict with students and their parents.
Hi, I'm Cindy Pajero, and I decided to study something that related to me and some friends of mine. So I decided to study the effects of listening to music on anxiety and specifically soccer players. So I did this through sending out a mixed method survey with both qualitative and quantitative questions on it. And what I found from my survey was that music can be used as a way to cope with competitive anxiety in soccer players ages 14 to 18. And I did this by sending out the survey to a mixture of male and female soccer teams on Long Island. Even though I administered it to an equal number of male and female teams, I found that more females responded to the survey than males. Therefore, I couldn't find a correlation between gender and anxiety. However, I also found that music is applicable to different types of anxiety in athletes, ranging from situation-specific anxiety to trait anxiety. And these are just some pictures that we took throughout the year, throughout the process.
Let's give them one big round of applause.
All right, so our next awards is each year, Scope Educational Services ask each district to nominate various employees in all different areas for what they call their Scope Awards, or what they call the Shining Star Awards. This year we had 3 nominees that we were able to give an award to, and I'm going to invite all 3 of them up here right now. Ms. Deb Anderson is here, Ms. Melissa Weinstein, and Ms. Angela O'Leary. Angela's the best. She even brought her plaque that she received. So basically what the plaques say, and I'm going to read something about each one of them. It says, this one was presented to Angela in appreciation for your outstanding service to the Bayport Blue Point School District. There was a dinner that all 3 of them were recognized with all the districts across Long Island. So congratulations to them, but I would like to share something about each one of them. So, all right. So, Angela, you could step forward first, since you were first. All right. So Angela, this is what was written about Angela. I'll be nice. Miss Angela O'Leary serves as Sylvan Avenue Elementary School nurse. Miss O'Leary tends to our students' medical, social, and emotional needs with kindness and compassion. Her work is a natural extension of our classrooms as she supports teachers in their efforts to keep students learning. Miss O'Leary's response to COVID-19 was instrumental in reopening our schools and keeping it open. She took the lead in educating faculty and staff about COVID-19, health and safety protocols, consistently applied contact tracing guidelines, was a liaison to the Department of Health, and ensured quarantining students were quickly enrolled in virtual Q school. Sylvan Avenue Learning Community applauds Ms. O'Leary's amazing work and is grateful for her dedication. We congratulate you on this award. Our second person is Ms. Deborah Anderson. She works here in the high school. Deborah Anderson has worked in the Bayport Blue Point School District for over 15 years as a teacher aide at all levels in a variety of capacities. Over the past 2 years, Ms. Anderson has served as the high school health aide. In this role, she has assisted with everything related to COVID. Ms. Anderson has also been instrumental in our weekly staff and community COVID testing. She is diligent and organized with her work and ensures all safety protocols are followed. Ms. Anderson has consistently stood out for her extraordinary relationships with the students and parents during a time of so much uncertainty in our community. Ms. Anderson has been a reassuring and dependable go-to person for students to speak to and to answer parent questions. Congratulations to Ms. Anderson. And last but not least, is Ms. Melissa Weinstein. She actually works with me. People often ask how I get some things done. Well, this is the answer right here. So here you go. So Melissa Weinstein is a tremendous employee who has worked in the superintendent's office for the past 12 years. Melissa has been a huge help to not only the superintendent, but the district as a whole. She has been invaluable since day one of all things related to the pandemic. Not only does she have the skills to take initiative, she will always go above and beyond of what is asked of her. She is dependable, professional, efficient, and always there when we need her. Melissa thrives during a crisis and is always calm and even-tempered when faced with a difficult situation. She has worked diligently to support the district through these difficult times, including evenings and weekends. She respects privacy, is an excellent communicator, a tremendous liaison to the community, and makes sure everything is done accurately in a timely manner. Her plate is usually not just full, but overflowing, yet she always checks in to see what else needs to be done. She is an asset to the district, and we are grateful for her dedication to BBP. Really, in closing, I really would just like to thank these three, because obviously a lot of people have pitched in over especially these last couple of years, and could not thank them all, but these three have really been a tremendous help to not just their buildings and communities and their students, but myself as well. So congratulations to all three of you, and thank you for everything that you do. Congratulations. Our next set of acknowledgments and awards is, as you know, each year, twice a year, we acknowledge our Teachers of the Month. So I'm going to go through it. We're going to go from February through the end of the year. So first, I'd like to bring up Ms. Merrill Thompson, who we had saw a little while ago. So this teacher is highly respected and revered by students, parents, and colleagues alike. She is naturally a talented teacher who focuses her instruction to meet the specific needs of her students. Watching her teach is mesmerizing. She goes way above and beyond her duties as a teacher, maintains a stellar communication with her students and parents. This is an experienced elementary teacher who has worked in a variety of positions and has taught numerous grade levels, including AIS. She's been involved with educational programs outside of school. She was our MESTRAC representative for many years. She's an excellent mentor, cooperating teacher, and union buddy. Additionally, this teacher has always played an active role in our association and has held many positions over the years, including being a longtime member of the election committee. She's extremely bright, knowledgeable, and an excellent resource for her colleagues. She's certainly deserving of this honor. It's with great pleasure, and pride that we recognize the Bayport Blue Point Teacher of the Month for February, Ms. Merrill Thompson. Thank you. I think we're going to do a picture. Our March 2022 Teacher of the Month is Lauren Kosmiskis. Lauren, come on down. the March Teacher of the Month has risen to the challenge of one of the toughest special education jobs in the building. Her time is split, her energy is split, but her attitude is always positive. Her mindset never strays from how can I help my students. She cares about them and works hard to meet their needs. She's kind to her students and puts them above all else. When you see this teacher in the hall, she uses a 2-minute hallway hello as a problem-solving session for a student who may be struggling. She's always coming up with fun and engaging ways to support her students. Her students are lucky to have her in their corner. She's a knowledgeable and experienced special education teacher and is willing to share or explain anything that she is knowledgeable about without hesitation. She's a team player, extremely flexible, and can easily collaborate with her colleagues and service providers. She's organized and collaborates with her colleagues and service providers. She's specific in her teaching and special education duties. She dives deep into individual goals as well as diligently teaching her students skills to master the curriculum. Blue Point Elementary has a talented, kind-hearted, intelligent, dedicated teacher, quietly progressing their staff. Her positive attitude and special education expertise allowed her to transition into her new 4-5 special education position with ease. Not only is she a great teacher, she's also a great colleague. You can always count on her as a listening ear and can always brighten anyone's day with her good sense of humor. With that, I give you the March 2022 Teacher of the Month, Lauren Kuzmiski. April 2022, Ms. Colleen Erickson. I do believe she is here. This teacher is a tireless advocate for her students as well as other teachers' students. You can always count on her when you have a question, a concern, or simply need a sympathetic ear. She's a go-to person for both her students and colleagues. She'll answer your questions or work to get answers for you, no matter what. She goes above and beyond to find the right programs and strategies to use with her students to help them succeed. She's a marvel of organization and problem solving on both a large and small scale. She's respected by students, staff, and administrators alike. This year she's split between Sylvan and the middle school, but it feels like she is here at Sylvan full-time. That is how much of an impact she has on our building. She's an active participant in our BBP TA as a building rep, as Sylvan, a rep for the TRS as well as SEPTA ambassador. She takes on these roles with enthusiasm, along with juggling a split schedule and managing an ever-changing landscape of accommodations for students. Her professionalism, positivity, and unflappable demeanor are inspiring and admirable. Simply put, she is an outstanding educator, colleague, and friend. She is without question an amazing teacher who is worthy of being BBP's Teacher of the Year. It is with great pleasure and pleasure that I recognize the Bayport Blue Point Teachers Association Teacher of the Month for April, Colleen Erickson. Congratulations. For the month of May, Gina Eilers. Gina's here, I believe. Yes. When thinking about how to describe our May BBB Teacher of the Month, there are a list of words that immediately come to mind. These words are camaraderie, togetherness, spirit, and positivity. Our Teacher of the Month for May exudes a fun spirit with her continuous attempts at building community in fun and creative ways, from organizing building-wide costume theme days to social gatherings, which help develop an incredible positive morale. She helps make our building an amazing place to work each day. This teacher is highly knowledgeable and is a genuine team player, offering her help and assistance to her department colleagues. She is welcoming, kind, and fosters a nurturing environment in our classroom. She effortlessly makes learning in her classroom a fun place to be. Aside from her knowledge of curriculum, she happens to be a highly skilled baker. All right. Her fellow friends and colleagues are greatly appreciative of her generous offerings we get to enjoy. She is well liked and respected by teachers, staff, and students and administrators. This This teacher is highly deserving of this honor. Our Teacher of the Month for May, Gina Adams. Congratulations. And our Teacher of the Month for June 2022 is Ms. Connie Shiraz. The Teacher of the Month for Bayport Blue Point High School is like a bright ray of sunshine in the building. She is someone who has a kind and generous heart and really goes above and beyond to make her students feel comfortable and welcome in the classroom. The same can be said about her interactions with the staff. She is approachable and warm and always has a smile on her face. Not only that, but she generally cares about her students' performances and holds them to high standards and expectations while working with them to ensure their success. She's passionate about her career and has held to her standards of excellence. Even now, in her final year with us at the high school, with the math department, she is engaged in a helpful team member, as well as the Mathletes Club advisor. Before we knew the term go-to person, she was someone that students and peers could count on to offer a listening ear and positive words. She has also been actively involved with different aspects of the union. She was a building rep for many years, volunteers her time every year for budget phone calls, mailings, and has been actively involved with the 200 Club. Not only is she an excellent teacher, she's a wonderful colleague and a great friend to many. The Teacher of the Month for June, Ms. Connie Shiraz. Definitely not for our last part, but definitely some of our, sorry, let me just get where I am. So at this time, we'd like to recognize a couple of people. We'd like to recognize a number of people. We do have one person tonight receiving tenure, and I would like to know, is Linda Hellenick here with us tonight? I believe she is. We're going to invite her forward. Linda, we're going to ask you to come forward. First of all, congratulations. Unfortunately, Ms. Dugan could not be here today, but Mrs. Van has volunteered to kind of share some information. Oh, here, Karen, I'm sorry.
So good evening. I am Carrie Van on behalf of Elaine Dugan, so these are her words to you. It is my pleasure to speak on behalf of Teacher Assistant Ms. Linda Hellenick this evening. Ms. Hellenick joined the Sylvan Avenue staff in the 2018-19 school year as an academic teacher assistant. The majority of her support work is done in the 5th grade classrooms, but she supports students at other grade levels, specifically in the areas of reading and writing. Ms. Hellenick is a self-starter. She consistently seeks out opportunities to deepen her knowledge base. For example, she asked to attend Teachers College professional development sessions alongside classroom teachers and has attended the annual workshops in Manhattan as well as the summer institutes. Early on in the school closure in the 2019-20 school year, Mrs. Hellenick attended 9 professional development sessions to learn how to use various platforms so that she could support students in the virtual setting. She consistently finds ways to improve her practice by reading the books that students are reading and taking notes on teacher instruction so that she can better support students. She's a true lifelong learner. Ms. Hellenick is always well prepared to work with her AIS students. She reviews lessons and materials prior to their meetings and shares progress notes with classroom teachers. She is kind and demonstrates great patience when working with Sylvan Avenue students, always encouraging them to keep on trying to improve their skills. Mrs. Hellenick is a terrific asset to Sylvan Avenue staff. She's a true professional who takes great pride in the work that she does with our students. Congratulations on earning your tenure. It is well deserved. Sounds like a fabulous to welcome those students. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Linda, and well done. Thank you. So now we're at that part of the night where we'd like to acknowledge people that are retiring. So first of all, I would like to congratulate all of them and thank them for all their years of service to all of our students, our other staff members, and our community, and I just cannot thank you enough. It is people like you that truly make BBP what it is, and often we talk about it, and even today I was most really asked, what's the word that automatically comes to mind when you think about BBP? And for me, it was community and family. And so we do have some people that will be leaving our family temporarily, but they are always part of us, though they may be retiring. So I'd like to congratulate all of you. At this time, I would like to invite Mr. Hassop, who will introduce some of the staff members that will be retiring within the high school.
Thank you, Dr. Harney. And it's really not fair to be called up to do this right after the person also got Teacher of the Month. So they kind of stole a lot of the things that I was going to say. Why can't, oh, there she is. So the first person I would like to speak about, so come on up, Connie Shiraz. So Ms. Shiraz began her teaching career in Bayport Blue Point in 2006, and as was already stated, so I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, but Ms. Shiraz has always been somebody who is willing to do anything in the building, willing to teach anything, willing to work with any student that needs any help. She's always that person that you can go to. And I know that her fellow department members and other members of the building feel the same way, that they can go to her. She's also, not many people know about Mathletes, and she's been a driving force behind Mathletes for years, getting so many students to participate in and take the test. But really the biggest thing that stood out for me over the years, and it was said a little earlier, is just your smile. When you walk into and you can see it right now, when you walk into the building, when you walk into a classroom, your smile lights up the room, and it really, I can say for me personally, it's somebody, if it's a tough morning or a tough day, you're somebody who can come in and lightens the mood immediately. So congratulations, we're going to miss you. Congratulations. Next, I'd like to call up Ms. Celeste Devaney. So Ms. Devaney began her teaching career in Bayport Blue Point in 2004. I don't know if there's any other way to describe her, but the mom of the high school. She is that person that staff knows they can go to, that students know they can go to, just for that caring, listening, friendly ear that's going to, we talk about go-to people, and the students have talked about what a go-to person is, and it's somebody who's just willing to listen to you unconditionally and not pass judgment, and that is Ms. Devaney. She has taught Spanish 1, Spanish 2, Spanish 3 for our students throughout her time here, and really you see, during tough times you see, or difficult times you see, the true character of a person and what they're all about. And I go back to when COVID first started and the Spain trip. Our students were set to go off to Spain, and it was, are we canceling, are we not? And just the way she runs that trip and how she handled everything from the students, the parents. As a first-year high school principal, I could not have been more thankful for everything she did at that time. So you're going to be missed as part of our Bayport Blue Point family. So congratulations. Congratulations. Next, we have Mr. Richard Riley. So Mr. Riley began his teaching career at Bayport Blue Point. Not his teaching career to begin with, but his teaching career at Bayport Blue Point in 2003. Again, you're seeing a common theme. Mr. Riley is somebody who's willing to do it all. We saw it in his first year at Bayport Blue Point, as he was with no experience whatsoever. I think he was the JV field hockey coach. I then got to know Mr. Riley a little bit more when I was still coaching. He actually became my assistant coach in softball, and really got to know him well over that time. What has impressed me most is just he is such a student-centered teacher who is always looking to do anything for the students. And the biggest thing, when he was department chair, after a couple of years, he became department chair for phys ed. He really oversaw the transformation of the department in terms of some of those traditional games that we're used to playing as kids that students today aren't as interested in. He has taken it and been a driving force behind providing our students with activities that they're interested in, they want to participate in, and he's a main reason why when you talk to our students, they want to be down in the gym, they want to go have fun down there. Sometimes they try and get down there a few more periods than they're supposed to. So congratulations to Mr. Riley, we're going to miss you. Congratulations. All right, so the last person I had the opportunity to speak for tonight is Miss Joanne Roche. So Miss Roche began her teaching career here in Bayport Blue Point in 1989. So many of you, I don't know if you watched the videos of our old board meetings, I think it was last spring, there was a presentation on our ENL department and how it's grown and the services they're able to provide our students. And that we have, I think, we're up about 4 teachers within the department now and just servicing the students throughout the district. Well, there was a time when Ms. Roche was our ENL department. I think she has worked in every building in this district and had an impact on so many students. She really is the foundation of the ENL department that we have today. She is, again, just such a caring person, always a smile on her face, always there for a pick-me-up. If a student's having a bad day, she is there to lift them up, and the same with her colleagues. She's always there to lift us up and always has that genuine smile. So congratulations, we're going to miss you. All right, there was one more. Congratulations. I am presenting for one more person, and it is an honor to present for Ms. Michelle Cornwell. So I am going to say, I think as I was entering 4th grade, Ms. Cornwell was beginning her teaching career in 1988 in the Bayport Blue Point School District. She has been the rock behind the special education department since the beginning. I don't think there's a student that has gone through our special education program that has not come in contact with Ms. Cornwell. She has gone above and beyond for her students, whether they were in her classroom or whether it was through her role as department chair. She has always been there advocating for the students for whatever they need. I can say from a professional standpoint as a building principal, even when I was a young teacher, sorry, I'm aging. So as a young teacher, being able to turn to her if I ever needed, if I had any questions about any accommodations that I needed to help students with, she was always somebody I could go to. And then going into administration, she has always been a person that I can turn to, and I know other administrators would agree, somebody we could turn to and get questions answered and get things done. So we are going to miss you. Congratulations. I know it's been a long time, but congratulations. You're going to be missed here.
Thank you, Mr. Haas. At this time, I'd like to invite Ms. Velasco forward.
Good evening. I'd like to call up and congratulate Brenda Kowalski. Brenda has worked in BBP district for 25 years, since 1997, and I've been lucky to have her as my secretary for the last 2 years. I think it was definitely a culture shock going from 18-year-olds to 5-year-olds, but I think that she was born to be in an elementary school. She loves when they come in, especially when they press the 30-second dance party button. She does laugh and smile at that. Brenda's a hard worker, wants to do everything perfectly, not just so that it's right, but to make me happy and to relieve some of my stress as well, so thank you for that. She quickly learned all about the culture of BPE, happily participating in all spirit days, even coming up with some ideas of her own, like Country Western Day. If you've never seen her costumes and attire, then you have missed out on this experience for sure. She learned new tasks, wasn't afraid to ask for help, built a great rapport with the staff and students and the community quickly within just 2 years, and I learned that she's quite possessive about her office supplies, quite obsessed with Post-it notes, and loves talking using acronyms. At first it took me a few minutes to realize what she was saying, but I'm a pro now, so TYVMBFE. Thank you very much, Brenda, for everything.
And I think I'm going to invite Mrs. Van up, but we're not sure that everyone is here, so Ms. Van, I'll invite you up. Were you speaking for Ms. Dugan? You think that's it? Oh, okay. Who'd you have? Oh, Diane Gennari is not here. Okay, thank you. Perfect, thank you. All right, congratulations. We do have a number of people that were unable to be here tonight. Linda Arnold, Diane Biter, Diane Gennari, Diane Ubelacker, and Rosemary Walden. So we'd like to wish them all a congratulations and thank them for all their service as well. I have one more recognition that was given to us recently by NISBA, which is basically the Nassau Suffolk School Boards Association. They have presented a certificate to our Board of Education that says the Nassau Suffolk School Boards Association honors Bayport Blue Point Board of Education in recognition of extraordinary dedication to effective and responsive governance during this unprecedented times, presented June 2022. So with that, I will give this to Mr. Miller, but this is for the entire board. Congratulations, and thank you for all your service. So as we move on to the business part of the meeting, I would again just like to share my congratulations to everybody here tonight, our students, our staff. Congratulations to those who received the special awards, those who received tenure tonight, and a special thank you to all of our retirees. I hope you do something good. Make it special for yourself because you definitely deserve it. So congratulations to everybody.
Thank you guys so much at this time. If you would like to go home, we definitely understand, but thank you for coming out. And congratulations, and retirees, you will sorely be missed. Thank you so much. Have a good night, guys. Bye, guys. Have a great night. We appreciate it.
My mind is all I'm trying to check we don't forget anybody.
Is anybody else's hands hurt? No. At this time, we would open it up for community new or old business. We just ask that you come to the podium. Not hearing any, we will turn it over to Dr. Harney for his superintendent report.
No, really, again, as I mentioned already, congratulations to everyone here tonight. I'd also like to thank everyone. Obviously, we had to do a quick switch at our last meeting, so thank you for everyone for accommodating us. We have our next two meetings. We have another meeting where we are going to recognize some more students. The PTA Reflections, as I said, that will be June 28th, And then on July 1st, we have our reorg meeting. If you remember, that is Friday morning at 10 a.m. So we have that. Also, obviously, since the last time we met, we've had a number of celebrations and concerts that have been tremendous. Over the next couple of weeks now or the next 2 weeks, we have all of our moving up ceremonies for our 3 fifth grade buildings, and also our 8th grade have their moving up ceremony. They'll be on the football field. Each of the elementaries will be at their school. And obviously it will culminate with the high school graduation, which is next Friday. That is 6 o'clock, also on the field, on the football field. So I'd like to just congratulate everyone. And really, that's basically it at this point.
Thank you, Dr. Harney.
I'm sorry, one other thing. Just as you may have seen, tonight I had to send out a letter, just so that people understand is, unfortunately, within the high school and some of the boys' bathrooms today, we found some images in there that were really hateful and racial and intolerant. So we did want to share something out to kind of remind people that we are, one, we did share everything with the police, so it is something that we are looking into. And 2, again, as we've done in the past, we're asking people to speak to their sons and daughters just about this information, and if there is any information that they may have, to reach out to Mr. Haas. Obviously, this is something that will not be tolerated within Bayport Blue Point, so we just want to share this information. If you have any additional information, please feel free to reach out to one of us.
Thank you, Dr. Harney. At this time, we'll turn it over to our student rep, Ms. Witt. One more meeting after tonight.
Yes, only one more.
I know you're gonna miss us.
Oh, for sure, definitely. BBP had their first art signing day last week, which celebrated all of the seniors majoring or minoring in some form of art in college, and it was hosted by CBs. Seniors had their sports award night, hosted by the Booster Club last week as well, and a scholarship night, a yearbook signing event, and field day, which were all very enjoyed. Middle schoolers did an amazing job with their production of Matilda Jr. Congratulations to Leanne Redlow for becoming a state champ in the 100-meter hurdles. There were also Suffolk County Tennis Awards for boys varsity tennis and the Suffolk County Baseball Awards banquet for the boys varsity baseball. High schoolers had their last day of school today, and they're now preparing for their upcoming Regencies and finals, and middle schoolers have their last day of school tomorrow before they begin their own finals. Seniors are looking forward to their upcoming graduation ceremony and prom. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Witt. We truly appreciate it. Looking forward to your last update. At this time, we'll turn it over to Dr. Fulton, who has a short presentation for us in the community. Thank you, Dr. Fulton.
Good evening. Tonight's presentation is going to take us through how the district, our 3-year plan for spending the various monies that we've received related to COVID and legislation. So we're going to review what we started as our original proposal for the money that was allocated to us. We're actually going to take a short journey to what we've actually spent this year, and then we'll project the spending for years 22, 23, and 23, 24. All the money is being given is as allocated as a lump sum, and the district has the freedom and flexibility to determine how to spend it over a 3-year period. So everything we do is connected to our district goals. So the goal for us as we look to allocate these resources was to focus on learning, to give students the best opportunity, specifically try to close some learning gaps that have developed post-COVID, March 2020. Obviously provide a safe environment, and then always an efficient use of our resources. So the requirements from the American Rescue Act is that we have to continue to post on our website changes as we make. We have to periodically review the plan, and we need to prioritize student safety, maximize in-person instruction, and address the impacts academically and structurally of COVID-19. Things we have to do needs to be data-based, and we also need to show that we're supporting all of our students in a variety of different ways. So you're going to see a couple of different acronyms. So the first one is CRISA, and that's one portion of our funding allocation, which was approximately $1,890,348. So we divided that up in a couple of different categories as mandated by the requirements of the money award. So we focus on social emotional for students, technology, PPE supplies, and then HVAC and physical plant. So you can see this was generally what our allocation was, $83,000, 90 for, we have it classified for social emotional resources, $246,000 approximately for technology, $165,000 for PPE supplies, and then almost $1,400,000 for HVAC physical plant. So this year we did have allocation for a teacher. This fell under SEL. Smaller class size, additional resource, and we expended that for that allocation for this school year for 21-22 for $83,090. We originally had an allocation for our planning purposes, $246,630 for the installation of classroom smart boards. And again, thanks to Ms. Kiefer and our technology staff, we were able to successfully install those boards and utilize them this school year, and the money that we had planned has been expended. Now we're going to see some changes. So initially when money was allocated to us, we made plans to be able to ensure that we had enough mask wipes, gloves, disinfectant. And as it turns out that we were able to, based off of circumstances, that we did not need to allocate funding towards this. So you're going to see that the total expenditures to this date, and I have them in red, is actually zero. And we reallocated that money to another area, approximately $135,000. So when you see later in this presentation, some of the projects that we've wanted to start, which requires construction, wiring, things of that nature, costs have gone up and labor costs have gone up. So we were lucky that we didn't need to expend for what is generally known as PPE items, and we were able to reallocate that money into other areas. We still do have plans to purchase additional equipment, masks and gowns for our nurses. So here you can take a look at a little color code. If it's color-coded red, the work is in progress or planning stage. And then you can take a look and see. So Sylvan Avenue burner unit, that is currently a work in progress. We've expended $55,000 for the year. The hot water heater it's in a planning stage. The sink replacement at Sylvan, work in progress. And the high school burner pumps, also work in progress. And you can see the expenditure, the proposed expenditure, and then the total expenditure. The air handler at the middle school, the AC split unit at Sylvan, and the high school split unit, those are the rooftop units that can actually cool different areas or zones within the building. Those are all still within the planning stage, and money has not been expended. The district-wide computerized management system, which controls heat and the release and the opening of vents and things of that nature, again, it's in the completion process. And we're still in the planning stages for HVAC at Blue Point for their air handler, their faculty room, the Sylvan air handler, and the district office air handler. So you can see the $135,000 that we initially planned to put into that various PPE equipment actually has been reallocated to help assist with the physical plant and the air circulation and HVAC projects. CRISA continued is that we actually, as required during COVID, each building needed to have an isolation room for students. And we proposed that we would spend $130,000 to update those rooms, carpentry, electric, painting, etc. And to this point, we've spent $50,000 of that allocated money. Again, we have additional projects here, as you can see listed, high school isolation, negative air, that's a way to describe to ensure airflow and a proper pressure. Same for academy. Those are still in the planning stage. We have begun work in the Sylvan isolation for the negative airflow, and the Blue Point project was completed. We still have the Blue Point isolation room, the abatement that's needed, and the sink replacement. Those are still in the planning stages. So for those projects, we've expended $69,118 out of $113,000. Next, you can see that we actually do want to create, one of the positives that have come out of COVID is the desire for students to learn outside of a classroom setting. So we're looking to create some outdoor spaces for our teachers to be able to bring students. And so those are in various points of the planning stages for some trees, pavers, benches, etc. The other component is, and another acronym for you is called ARP, which stands for the American Rescue Plan. And we received $786,193 total for this component. And again, to be spent over 3 years. So we have it divided into social emotional learning and then learning loss. So our initial plan for the 3 years, we were going to hire a guidance counselor, part-time. We were going to bring on a social worker and also create a wellness club in each of the 5 buildings within the district. So for this, under social emotional learning, the original 3-year allocation, we were going to spend $343,896 over 3 years. The way the year started, we did hire our part-time guidance counselor, which we had discussed earlier in the year when we actually presented our K-12 comprehensive guidance plan. And the guidance counselor's been successful, pushing into classrooms, focusing on vocational standards, and working in various buildings on some SEL programs for our students. But we did not hire the social worker, and we did not open the wellness clubs for the money allocated for that. And there's a very specific reason why. One of the reasons why we didn't do that is because I'm going to go to a later slide, is we have Q school. When students are quarantined or sick with COVID, we've been instructing them virtually. And we had anticipated costs, which we'll go through and I'll show in a couple of slides. But it really, what it comes down to is that the money, unfortunately, we needed to redirect it to other areas. So our plan for year 2, year 3, July 2022 to June 30th, 2023, and then 23-24 school year, we still do plan, again, continue with our guidance counselor. So again, money allocated for, for each year's salary for a total in $67,566. We do want to bring on the social worker for year 2, year 3 using grant funds. And we do want to actually bring on the clubs that we had talked about starting this year that we held off on, the wellness clubs, one in each of our 5 buildings. And that would be for a total of $33,000 over the 2 years. So now we get to the learning loss allocations, and you're going to see why we didn't do the social worker and the wellness clubs this year. So we did bring on our kindergarten readiness program, which we started actually last summer when the money was allocated. And this has been a very successful program. We actually have our incoming kindergartners come in for 3 days a week for a couple of hours and begin to acclimate themselves into a school setting. And the program is successful that we've already seen a jump for this year too as well for participation. So it's a very exciting time here in Bayport Blue Point because not only are we bringing in pre-K, but we also now have this kindergarten readiness program. So that means a larger number of our students are in a better position to be successful starting day 1 in their academic careers here. That program requires 2 teachers, 2 teacher assistants, as you see the money that's allocated. In addition, we were looking to hire an academic intervention teacher for the school year and have an academic support program after school. We were also looking to have a teacher assistant during the day to be able to provide assistance. And then you see our initial allocation for Q school, $161,412. Here are our actual expenditures. So we did start our program last year. Those are our costs because originally we intended, because we had a late start for the program last year because of late money allocation, the program only ran for approximately 4 weeks. This year we're going to be it's going to be going right from the start of the program, so that increase will go up. As you can see, we didn't hire the academic intervention teacher. We did start the academic support after school program. As of right now, the expenditure was $29,300, and that's for middle school and high school. We did not hire the in-school academic support teacher assistant. And here's the Q school, which I kind of intimated at earlier. We had originally anticipated $53,620 for Q school. As of May 30th, as a district, we've $239,251.74. So again, those are the students that are quarantined or had COVID that we've been providing virtual remote instruction to. And really, there was no way for us to anticipate the number of students that would need to access that program. But as you can see, Q school has been, as we continue to provide instruction for our students, had exceeded our original. So that's why we made some of the changes into the allocations that I had presented earlier in the presentation. As you can see, for our plan is that we look to continue the funding for kindergarten. with our kindergarten readiness program with our teachers and teacher assistants through year 2, year 3. We're going to look to continue with the academic intervention services and our after-school program. And the after-school program, approximately $58,600. We are going to look to see, again, if we could bring in that teacher assistant, and if not, we could always move forward from there. And then our Q school, those are the original allocations for the number, but obviously we're going to have to look and take a look at that. And it depends what the requirements are from the state for what the expectation is for us, for students, if we continue to quarantine, excuse me, or if they're home due to COVID. So those are things that are still to be determined. So I hit you with a lot of numbers, but just remember, big picture, 3-year plan. We're flexible. We continue to make changes and can shift money based on the needs that we see developing in front of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fulton. Any questions from trustees? Oh, just real quick, I saw the learning spaces and everything's in progress outdoors. Is that something we're looking to do at every building, or is that something we're still?
Yes, we are looking for each building to create some sort of outdoor space for our students.
I mean, while the committee's meeting, I would just throw out the middle school outside the back door. We're struggling to grow a little grass there. That might be something we may want to consider, that one area.
Okay.
Please consider it.
Duly noted.
Any other questions? Dr. Fulton, thank you so much for your time, sir. We appreciate it. Thank you. Moving on to consent agenda. Are there any items the board would like to remove from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda? Not hearing any, can I have a motion to approve consent agenda items G, H, I, J, and K? Mr. Johnson, second. Mr. Krug, any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Moving on to the regular agenda, just so everyone's aware, we will do a roll call. So as a trustee, when I call your name, if you could just say yes, no, or abstain. For the tax and participation, no. So can I have a motion to approve the June 14, 2020 tax and participation notes, also known as TANs? Mr. Krug, second. Ms. Pignataro, we will do a roll call. Mr. Johnson, yes, no, abstain? Mr. Johnson is a yes. Mr. Broski? Yes. Ms. Saron? Ms. Pignataro? Mr. Krug? Ms. Pendola? I am also a yes. The tax and participation note does pass 7-0. Thank you guys so much. Moving on to the acceptance of the cash donation. Can I have a motion to approve and gratefully accept the cash donations from the below Box Stops for Education, Pops Concert Fundraiser, and the Academy Street Elementary? Mr. Broski, second. Ms. Saron, as always, we appreciate it. Box Stops is going to be donating to the Academy Street Elementary. It's going to be about $10. There's a pop concert fundraiser from Grace Bar and Grill Scholarship Fund. That's going to be $500. And the Academy Street Elementary is going to be using this for the Carly Strange Memorial Scholarship, about $625. So thank you guys so much for your donations. We truly appreciate it. Any other conversations? All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries 7-0. Moving on to our last agenda for the night. Can I have a motion to hold the annual reorganizational meeting on the first Tuesday in July? I believe it is July 1st at 10 a.m. Friday, July 1. Did I say Tuesday? Friday, July 1 at 10 a.m. Mr. Krug, seconded by Ms. Pendola. Just so everyone knows, we had a tough time finding a date for everyone, so that's why it was moved to off the Tuesday. We have a few people. We have someone getting married, or someone going on a honeymoon, and we have a couple vacations planned, so that's why it's going to be Friday, July 1st at 10 a.m. Any other questions about the reorganizational meeting? All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries 7-0. At this time, we'd open it up again to the community for any new or old business. Not seeing any. Open it up for any trustee new business. Not seeing any, just want to say thank you so much and congratulations to the tenure candidate, congratulations to all the retirees, Dr. Fulton, Dr. Harney, Mr. Montero, thank you so much for all the work you put in, we appreciate it. Can I have a motion to adjourn? Mr. Krug, second. Ms. Pignataro, all in favor? We will see you guys at the next meeting. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night.